Welcome to Hastings Outdoors, straight from the Mississippi Flyway to your hearts. Let's go! Let's go. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Hastings Outdoors. I am your host, Andrew, coming to you not live in any way, shape, or form from the one, the only Hastings Outdoor Studio located in the Dream Building Garage. Oh, hope you guys like the intro music there, guys. I needed a little bit of, what do they call it, the hype music to get me going today. I'm feeling a little ragged. I've never said that before, but hey, I don't know what it is, guys. There's a lot of viral stuff going around in the airs these days, being midwinter-ish. I don't even know. It's winter. We're in January, guys. That's midwinter, right? I don't know. In Indiana, it could be just starting winter. Who knows? But, a lot of cold stuff in the air, guys. A lot of cold stuff, not just the wind. Bugs, viruses, whatever you're going to call them. They're out and about, and so who knows? It could just be the fact that I'm back at work and back on that grind after having time off. Oh man, I don't know. Either way, guys, here I am, loud and in charge. I don't know. We'll ignore that part. Cut that part out later, maybe. But welcome, guys. I hope this podcast finds you well. Let's just dive right on into it, guys. So the mission statement, ladies and gentlemen, for Hastings Outdoors is sharing my waterfowl and outdoor experience to promote the participation and conservation of natural resources. That's it, guys. That is it. Trying to get you guys involved, man. It doesn't have to be duck hunting. It doesn't have to be hunting. It doesn't even have to be fishing. Just conservation of our natural resources is really the overall arching theme and what I'm trying to go for here, guys. I figure if I tell you enough stories and share enough experience that maybe, just maybe at least one of you out there will get the conservation itch. I don't know. You don't have to go out and harvest game at all to be part of conservation. That's the cool part about it. So, and I guess, I don't know. I would like to promote the hunting side of it because I think it has tremendous mental health benefits. I honestly, and quite frankly, there's a lot of populations in certain areas. I can't say this countrywide or even statewide, but in certain areas there is a need for more hunters and whatnot. And that's kind of the theme I'm going to run with for this episode. I'm not even really sure, guys. I've been getting some mixed information on duck hunter numbers, and it's not looking so bueno. But then again, at the same time, it's not looking so bad if you're a duck hunter right now. Don't know. It's kind of a catch-22 because, anyway, we'll dive into that momentarily. But, so season prep updates, guys. Not a whole lot of projects going on, thank the Lord for that, because we're at the end of the road almost, you know. Duck is gone. That's done and over with, and I'm kind of thankful for that. Not sure how I feel about it, but goose is still in until February 11th for my region, so that's kind of cool. But trying to make that transition has been a challenge because I mentioned a little bit in the last episode. If you guys didn't check that out, go check that out. That I'm unfamiliar with the ways of goose hunting. Now, I've never targeted geese specifically until right about now. So, a steep learning curve yet again. I don't know. Maybe that's just my style. Maybe that's just who I am. But I like to dive in and get after it. And I do like to prepare and study and try to get as much knowledge beforehand as possible. But realistically, guys, I think the best way to do a lot of things, not all things, keep that in mind, to do a lot of things is to just go do it. So I don't know. Goose hunting, it's kind of new to me. It's kind of new to me, I should say, if I can pronunciate. It's been one of those days, guys. It's the middle of the week. I'm recording this in the middle of the week. You guys are listening to this on Thursday. You're almost to the weekend, so hang in there. But man, it's been a Wednesday for sure. And anywho's it. So goose hunting. It's similar to duck hunting. It is waterfowl hunting. But I don't know. We'll see how this goes. I've been waiting on this blind I ordered to come in. And man, I tell you what, FedEx, I don't want to. I can't really say anything about FedEx without talking bad about FedEx. So I think I'm just not going to say anything about FedEx. I don't know. I don't want this to be one of those podcasts or an episode where it's just dogging on a company or product or whatever, and just talking about how trash they are and how they never show up on time. I don't want to do that. And I'm definitely not going to try and throw FedEx under the bus for showing up, always late and never getting here, even though you pay for the shipping. And that's not what I'm trying to do here. So just keep that in mind. Sorry, a little bit of a rant there, guys. Hey, you know what? They do it better than I could, so God bless them for that. But at the same time, when you pay for shipping, yeah, there's a little bit of grace involved. I understand things happen. But when you pay for shipping and they delay your package because of weather, but then they deliver it on the next day when you actually had inclement weather, I don't know, guys. I don't know how it works out. Trying to put a whole lot of grace on that situation because, and not like it. I mean, not like it's the end of the world, but it's really frustrating because the blind wasn't the only thing I was waiting on. I was actually waiting on my daughter's new mattress. Kind of a big deal. So yeah. Anywho, it all worked out. So, but guys, anybody out there struggling like me? Am I just the only one? Everybody else just doing good? Just having a great day, living life, winning at everything you do. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I'm gonna look up this blind real quick because I do want to talk about it just a little bit. Oh my goodness, if I can type and whatnot all at the same time without getting too close to the microphone, I do apologize if that got too loud. Okay, so I bought it from Drake Waterfowl. And guys, just before I get too far into this, talking about this blind, the one thing I do want to say right now, guys, is if you guys need waterfowl gear, now is a perfect time to buy it. It seems like every waterfowl related company and their brother is having crazy sales right now on waterfowl gear. I'm talking decoys, layout blinds, field blinds, A-frame blinds, panel blinds, waders, boots, jackets, parkas, whatever it is, bags. If you can think about even ammo, guys, if you can think about waterfowl related gear, it seems like every major waterfowl company has a massive sale going on right now, which is kind of weird because if you think about it, they could probably give you a better price throughout the year. But nevertheless, that's the way things go, guys. And so, seriously, if you guys need decent waterfowl gear, definitely check it out. So, I'm just going to throw some numbers at you guys here real quick to explain what I'm talking about because this blind... okay, so Drake Waterfowl, it is the Gilly 3-man run and gun blind with no shadow dual action top. So the Gilly 3-man run and gun, for short, because that's a really long title, a really long whatever you would call it. Anywho's what it calls it. So the standard price on this blind ranges from $329.99 to $379.99, which if you compare prices to other products, other manufacturers, companies, etc., brands, that's not horrible. I mean, if you look at the AV&X, I think it's the A-frame blind. I'll just try to pull that up real quick because the AV&X A-frame blind usually is going to run you, I'm ballparking, I think it's about $500. I think that's where it comes in at. I don't know. It shows. No, I think I have the wrong blind in mind, guys. I do apologize. Anywho, it shows about $350 on Cabela's right now, and Cabela's is usually higher than anybody else. So, yeah. Anywho, but so $350 for AV&X. So about $300 to $400 is what you're looking at for. Well, actually, this is confusing because on Rogers, and Rogers usually has good prices in general, but Rogers, the Avian X A-frame blind right now, it shows the regular price of being $500. I think that's where I got that from. But the sale price right now is $279.99. Now, the $500 could be the MSRP on it, the manufacturer's suggested retail price, which is always, I'm not sure, I'm not 1,000% sure on this, guys. But I think the MSRP number is a number that manufacturers throw out to vendors and dealers and whatnot. I don't think it's to establish a price for the product. I think it's to give them a little bit of wiggle room so they can make it look like, hey, we're selling it for this less than MSRP. I don't know. I think that's a bit of a marketing thing, if I'm going to be honest. Anywho's, it's so. Yeah, so, oh my gosh, the air attacked me. Anywho, guys, one thing I will say right now, Rogers has a Final Approach waterfowl hunting clothing on sale like crazy. And I'm going to throw this out there just because I can. If you guys want 10% off from Final Approach, if you go to Final Approach's website and you want 10% turned down. Oh, it's a struggle today, boys. It's a struggle today. If you want 10% off Final Approach, so go to fabrand.com. You're looking for a waterfowl jacket, backpack, gloves, whatever it may be, and if you'd like 10% off of the sale price they already have, guys, use a code DuckGun. That's from Duck Gun Chronicles, Duck Gun Podcast. I was literally shopping. I got an email from Rogers about certain sales from Final Approach. I went to Final Approach's website. They had the similar sale, like identical sale prices. And I was listening to his podcast, and he talked about that code, that discount code, and I used it, got 10% off of some really cool stuff that's already on crazy clearance. I'm talking at least 50 to 75% off on some things. Don't quote me on that. I'm not working for them, so don't worry about that. But anyway, so guys, right, yeah, I know it's nuts, guys. This is going to be one of the least professional podcasts I think I've done yet, but it's okay. So anywho, if you guys know somebody, you yourself are shopping for waterfowl gear, or you know somebody, and I'm talking from clothing to decoys to everything in between, check it out, guys. Check it out. I ended up getting a pair of $60 waterproof gloves from Final Approach for $15. Well, they were on sale for $15. I used my points via RogersSportingGoods.com, got $15 off, and so all I paid was shipping for a $60 pair of gloves. So a $60 pair of gloves ended up costing me $10. That's a deal, guys. Anywho, so back to the blind, like I was talking about. I try to emphasize this, guys, because one of the overall arching themes of the podcast, of Hastings Outdoors in general, I should say, not just the podcast, because the YouTube channel is coming. Stay tuned. But one of the overall arching themes is saving money, and this cord is on my leg, and it's probably making noise in the mic, and I don't like it, so I'm going to fix that. Okay. I don't know if that did it or not, guys. I don't know if that did or not. I don't know. We'll see. Oh, it's my jacket catching the microphone cord. I apologize if that was annoying, but anywho, one of the overall arching themes for Hastings Outdoors, other than being relatively amateur at moments, at times, is saving money, doing more DIY type stuff, trying to, stretch a dollar as much as you can, but also getting out there and partaking of our natural resources, aka hunting, fishing, whatever it may be, and conservation at the same time. So I don't want to talk too long about, hey, go take advantage of these sales because it'll save you a ton of money, but that's kind of what I'm getting at. Anywho, so I ordered this blind because I picked it up for $164.99. Now, that is with the, I didn't even realize this before, but that's with their, with Drake Waterfowl's old school camo. That's literally what it's called, old school camo. It's with their camo pattern. If you do go with the Mossy Oak Shadowgrass Habitat or the Mossy Oak Bottomland, tack on another, what is that, $15? I don't even know. Was it $25? I can't even read it right now. Oh, no. Okay. Yeah, so that'd be $25. So the one I purchased was at $165, and the Mossy Oak patterns is $190. That's still not bad because the retail on the Mossy Oak is $380, and the retail on the old school is $330. Whatever, guys. I think the old. Don't get me wrong, guys. I don't like getting ahead of myself and getting tongue-tied and being ridiculous on this podcast. I don't know. Maybe I do. I do it a lot. Anywho, I don't mind Mossy Oak. I like Mossy Oak bottomland. And I actually like the shadowgrass habitat a lot. I think the majority of my camouflage is the shadowgrass. So nothing against them, but shoot, man, if I can save $25 for some camouflage that's going to be covered with, grass and corn stalks and all that kind of stuff anyway, that's just me. But hey, that's what I did. So I ordered this blind, qualified for free shipping, all that cool stuff, guys. And this is going to drive me up a wall. This cord, I do apologize, guys. All right. See if that works. Anywho's, it was shipping with FedEx, and it took over a week and some change to get here when the shipping was 3 to 5 days shipping. I don't know if that was business days. I don't know. But it took forever to get here, and it finally showed up, and I was hoping to have this thing mudded by now, which is going to kind of suck because it's winter. The ground isn't frozen yet, but it's still cold. It's still cold. It's still very cold. 30s cold. Anywho, so I was hoping to have this thing mudded by now, and actually, I talked about this when I made that DIY makeshift panel blind out of some conduit, some EMT conduit, and a tarp and whatnot, using some corn stalks that I had from the garden to kind of semi-grass this blind in. That way, when I get to the field, it's not... It's essentially to try and save time. I'm still going to grass this thing in as best I can, like crazy. But I want to try to grass it as much as I can beforehand. That way, on a solo hunt, that kind of thing, I have grass already attached to it. I just need to brush it in a little bit better when I get there, that kind of thing. So, anywho, I was hoping to have all that stuff done, but it didn't work out so well. Thanks to FedEx. Shout out to FedEx. If you guys want to sponsor the podcast, go check out someone else's podcast. I'm just kidding, FedEx. I'm just kidding. I'm a little grumpy. I'm sorry. Don't take it personal-ish. But I gotta quit laughing at my own jokes. I think it sounds weird sometimes. I really do. But yeah. So anyway, guys, that's on the project list right now. Is getting that blind, getting it mudded, and then getting the corn stalks on it. That's the big thing right now, and I need to get busy doing that. So hopefully tomorrow I can get some of that accomplished. I've just got a lot on my plate because every time I come out to the garage, I'm just like, oh Lord, I need to clean this up. It's a disaster. And unfortunately, that's the consequences of duck season. So, whatever. It is what it is. But I can do some small things in the meantime to clean this up. At least I have to move some stuff around, get the kayak put up, move Alamo's kayak out of the way, and probably sweep some stuff up because I need room to work on the blinds. So, 2 birds, 1 stone kind of ish. Oh my goodness. But I will warn you guys, if you guys are looking for a field blind, whatever it may be, this blind is really cool. And I have to be honest with you guys, the pictures on Drake Waterfowl's website and on the internet in general do not do this thing justice. The pictures make it look like it's not very wide. It looks taller than it is wide. Something's wrong with the scale on the image. And but this thing will easily fit 3 guys, no problem. And you're not going to have tons of room, but you're going to have enough room that you guys can hunt out of this thing for sure. And my intent with it being a 3-man blind was a 2-man with a dog. That's the goal, since Samson is training well and whatnot. Yeah, so anyways, it's just word to the wise, this thing is much bigger than it seems, but it's also not that bad to set up. Now I don't have another manufactured blind to compare this to. The only other blind I have to compare this to, I've used various blinds in the past, pop-up blinds and stuff like that for deer hunting. But as far as waterfowl or migratory bird blinds go, the only thing I have to compare this to is the homemade DIY panel blind I made. And Other than carrying the thing, the setup's not hard. You kick the legs out and lean it. That's about it. So, but I will say, after opening the box on this thing, guys, I was looking at it and trying to figure this out. And the first thought that came to mind was, okay, what kind of evil origami is this? There's no instructions that come with the thing. I'm just going to throw that out there. No instructions. And I like to think that I'm a relatively intelligent person. I'm not Albert Einstein by any means, but I'm also not Forrest Gump. So somewhere in between Einstein and Forrest Gump, I think most of us fall. I would hope. I don't know. I've seen too much of politics to make that a question in my mind. Anywho's it's so trying to figure out this thing and whatnot. Once I kind of got it expanded, I should say, or folded out, however you want to look at it. The setup's not that bad. There is a ton of Velcro to wrap around the legs of this thing, so it seems like that's going to be time consuming. But it's probably worth it, because if you don't do that, it's not gonna look good. Anywho, but once I got it set up and whatnot, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. If you were hunting with a buddy or a couple of buddies, since it is a 3-man blind, or hunting with your wife and a child, your children, whatever it is, don't take a random child hunting that you don't know or don't have permission to take hunting. That's weird, and I think that's illegal. Anywho's, it's it's a struggle today, guys. Okay, so yeah, after I figured out how to set this thing up, I'm pretty excited about it, guys. It has adjustable legs for height, and I think actually right now it's set up to be somewhere in the middle, so you can actually drop it down, and each leg is adjustable independently of another leg, so you can drop it down, raise it up, that kind of thing. You can even kind of canter it a little bit, so it's one set of legs is higher than the other, or however you want to do it, and that's pretty cool. So you can get this thing set up on a variety of fields, areas, marshy areas, stuff like that. So that's the goal. But anywho, I've spent way too long talking about the season projects, guys. But so I got some silhouette decoys. I don't know why there's an H in there, but I got the silos here for the cool guys. The silos. See, I don't know why guys call it a silo when you pronounce it silo. So I got my silo decoys here. It just doesn't sound good. It doesn't sound good. That's probably why. But I got the silhouettes ready to rock. I'm gonna get that blind ready to rock, and then hopefully, Lord willing, I can get out there and make something happen. And actually, a thought just came to mind of a place I might go. Hey, Alamo, make sure you text me after you listen to this. I got a place to go. Anywho, sorry, random information. I could have just texted Alamo myself. He'll hear this tomorrow, and then he'll remind me tomorrow. It'll be great. So, all right. So yeah, the transition to goose, guys. I have never targeted, I should say, goose. Just goose. It's been waterfowl, the umbrella of waterfowl, and whatever waterfowl came in was kind of on the list. So it's gonna be very interesting, guys. I definitely need to practice more on my calling. I mentioned a little bit of that before, but I need to practice more on my calling. I've got the honk, I've got the cluck, I've got the moan, and I just need to work on the whole cadence portion of it and the situational calling aspect of it, because for those of you who aren't aware, I can speak more readily with duck calling. There are certain calls you may not want to do given certain circumstances, how they're flying, whatever, and stuff like that. So it's all situationally based. And so I'm assuming it's the same with geese. I would hope so, or it would make sense that it would be. And so that's what I'm working on now, is that cadence, getting the what routine, the cadence, whatever it is, down, and then also the situational application for that. So that's where I'm at, guys. I've made progress. I'm no pro at all. Anywho, but yeah, so that's where I'm at, guys, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm super excited. I'm kind of chomping at the bit, ready to go. But at the same time, I looked at the weather forecast, and it looks like it's gonna suck. So I don't know. Gonna be windy and cold, but hey, I'm gonna be in a blind this time. Now, yeah, I was in a blind in the boat, but there's a lot of open room, and it's harder to keep the boat warm with the heater than it is a blind. So honestly, guys, I think sitting in the blind the 3-man blind that I got with the heater is probably going to be nice and cozy. Don't know. Also, one little tidbit, and I'm gonna get off my rant on this blind. The main reason I wanted this blind, as compared to others, is that yes, there are some brands that come with top cover, and that's fine. They're decent. I think Northern Flight, aka Cabela's brand, has one. I think Avian X may have made something like that. It kind of looks like it kind of looks like the standard A-frame, but one side has a higher back and a slanted roof, and then, just look it up, guys. You'll see what I'm talking about. So there are some that have top cover, but this one is, in my opinion, more versatile because it has top cover, but both sides flip up. So you can have one side cocked up a little bit, and you can raise the height on this top altogether too. So it'll sit flush with the top of the blind. You can raise it up about, I'd say, ballpark 8 to 10 inches if you need be. And you can tilt either side up or down based on how you're hunting and whatnot. And so that's really what I wanted it for, is the versatility of how you can set this thing up, where you can set it up, and how you can hunt from it. The only downside I mentioned before is it doesn't have a dog door, but I'm going to take it to the canvas guy. Sweet Amish canvas shop just up the road about 3 miles from me, guys, and get some zippers installed. So hopefully next season, Samson will be ready to go and get him out and get him chasing birds for me. That'd be cool. So anywho, so one thing I kind of wanted to talk about for just a little bit here, guys, because I keep this theme keeps popping up, and it's kind of driving me crazy. Trying to wrap my head around it. And that is that duck hunter numbers are down. And it seems like, excuse me, it seems like this has been a theme that keeps popping up in various media sites. I think Ducks Unlimited has talked about it. Realtree had an article on it. And several, the NRA Hunters, whatever leadership forum has an article on it. Delta Waterfowl's talked about it. It seems like many podcasts, pretty much every podcast I've listened to before this past season and even up till now has talked about it. Game and Fish magazine, lots of forums. Just research duck hunter numbers down, and you will get a plethora of sites, articles, and all that information on there. And I've just been trying to dive into this and see what's going on, because to the best of my knowledge, it says that there was a brief increase in the 2020 season, aka the pandemic season. There was a spike, but I'm not sure why. And it's crazy. And so from Realtree's article right here, guys, I do want to try to verbally cite this, I should say. So it's Realtree's website, the Duck blog. The title is Duck Hunting Really in Decline? And this was posted December 20th, 2023, and the author is Brian Lovett. Lovett. I don't know. Lovett. Make up your own mind on that one. But so the beginning, the header for this, I should say, says, yes, hunter numbers are dropping, but that makes folks wonder why pressure seems crazier than ever nowadays. A look inside the numbers might reveal some answers and even possible solutions. And so that's one thing. There's a bit of a double-edged sword going on with, there's a lot of issues going on with waterfowl in general. And so it's kind of crazy to wrap your mind around, because there's so many little nuanced things and I can't even, variables. That's the word I was looking for, variables. There are so many variables surrounding duck hunting, waterfowl hunting, yada, yada, that it's kind of hard to wrap it up in a nutshell and give a concise answer as to the status of waterfowl hunting in general, let alone waterfowl numbers. And so, the crazy thing is everyone seems to agree that the duck hunter numbers are decreasing, and also it seems that the duck numbers are decreasing. Now, here, logically speaking, if the hunter numbers are decreasing, that could be a result of the decreasing population of ducks, specifically mallards, which I can't remember where I heard this now, but I think someone said that the guesstimation of mallard population has decreased by almost 18% here recently. I'm not sure. I'm just going to try to search that real quick so I don't give you guys crazy information. I do believe I saw that in a video, but I want to verify that because that seems pretty strange to me. So, but like I said, guys, I've heard this so many times. Do, 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 that duck hunter numbers are down and waterfowl numbers aren't looking so good. Now, leading into this season, guys, a lot of guys were saying that a lot of folks, places, people, organizations were saying that the breeding population looked okay. There should be a decent hatch or whatever you want to call it for the 2023 season, meaning that there should be decent hunts in the fall, so on and so forth. But I don't think that played out. I don't think that played out the way they were expecting. So, oh man, let's see. Yeah, okay, so this is from Wildfowl Magazine. So, Wildfowl, typical spelling, wildfowlmag.com. It says, mallards, the bread and butter ducks for many of the nation's hunters in the Mississippi and Central Flyways, declined a good bit, falling to 6.129 million breeders in 2023. That's a decrease of 18% from last year's 7.434 million breeders and a fall of some 23% below the long-term average. So, guys, I don't have anything conclusive on this, and I'm looking to essentially just kind of bring up this topic, talk about it a little bit, and then hopefully in the next episode I will have a better report for you guys and kind of a summary of what I'm reading and what I'm researching. And so, yeah, I'm going to do some homework on this one, if time permits. But so, mallards, guys, that like the article says, it's the bread and butter ducks for many in the Mississippi Flyway and Central Flyway. So, really is, and it's the number one duck species, and it's the most hunted, I should say, or targeted, whatever you want to call it, harvested for sure. And so it is decreased by 18%, and it is 23% below the long-term average. So that suggests by itself, guys, that the mallard population is down a lot, literally 20%. And so that's a big chunk of numbers there in the population. I mean, it's a huge swath gone. And so back to the Realtree article here real quick, guys. So, oh my goodness. There we go. Okay. So the article states that in the 2020 season, there was a jump during the pandemic, which is kind of cool. But at the same time, it fell off very quick afterwards. And the article says, for example, from the 2012 to 2013 to the 2022-23 season, the number of active waterfowlers decreased by almost 235,000, a drop of more than 20%. So in 10 years, duck hunter numbers dropped 20%, which is pretty crazy. 20% seems to be kind of a theme here, guys. 20% less mallards, 20% less hunters. It seems there might be some sort of pattern there. Don't know. I don't want to jump to conclusions, but, off the cuff, it would say, hey, if you're seeing fewer ducks, you're going to see fewer hunters. Right? I don't know. But, yeah, anywho. So, oh man, it's so confusing because there's so many variables, because a lot of guys I'm seeing, a lot of guys that are talking about this are saying that pressure is crazier than ever, and competition seems higher than ever. But I'm not sure what to make of that, because we've been in a drought. This year was a really bad drought. So let me back up. Sorry, 2023 was a pretty bad drought. Bad drought for the breeding grounds and throughout pretty much North America in general. And so in drought years, especially worse drought years, your waterfowl are going to have to stick to larger bodies of water. They're congregating in in more centralized areas, if you will, which means the hunters are also going to be in the same areas. So everything's kind of tightening up to larger bodies of water, bigger rivers, bigger lakes, bigger, refuges, whatever. And so, yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's got a part to it. But anywho, guys, I just want to throw this topic out here. It seems like, from everything, I guess to wrap this up, because I am running out of time, guys. I do apologize. But to wrap this up, guys, everything that you can see online, whether it's podcasts, YouTube, articles, you name it, everything is saying that duck hunter numbers are down, which is bad. And I'll get to that in a moment. It's good for me because, hey, there's less competition, right? Well, no, not necessarily. And it is also saying that duck populations are down. So that's also bad. So the problem, the catch-22, the big issue, if I can try to eloquently wrap this up, if duck hunter numbers are down, and say, that 20% decrease from 2013 to 2023, if those people aren't actively purchasing migratory waterfowl stamps from the USPS, the federal stamp, if they're not purchasing that stamp, that's 20% less funding going into migratory game birds, migratory waterfowl. And so that's a big hit to conservation. That's the real crux of it all, I think. And so as the hunter numbers decrease, the funding for waterfowl decreases. And so who knows, maybe if the hunters increase, the funding will increase, and then hopefully that'll open up more opportunities for healthier breeding populations, or whatever. Anywho, don't want to get too far in the weeds. Long story short, guys, conservation is critical to keep and maintain our natural resources and healthy populations of waterfowl and every species that we have. So conservation is key, guys. It is key. And if we don't get after it, we don't get active and proactive, I should say, about conservation, put your money where your mouth is, get your boots on the ground, whatever it may be, I don't think this trend's going to change soon. And so, hey, take a buddy hunting. Get somebody involved in conservation. I don't know. I'll have more on this coming in the next episode, guys. I do apologize. I am running out of time. But all about conservation on the next episode. And I will try to have more concise and precise information about this to come. I just kind of want to throw this out as a little bit of a teaser, or whatever it may be, and just an effort, I should say, to promote conservation, because yes, there was a lot of weather and stuff that played a major role in how well this 2023 season went for most of the country. The El Nino or whatever it is, I'm not even sure, El Nino or La Nina. I need to figure that out, right? But the warmer than average weather has kept birds from migrating south. It's been very difficult for a lot of hunters, pretty much south of Canada and whatnot. And it hasn't been impossible, but it hasn't been good. And it's been a slugfest, a struggle. And so there's a lot of factors that go into it. But the decrease in hunter numbers and the decrease in conservation dollars definitely doesn't help. And that, the weather aside, that's the more critical issue here. So that being said, guys, I am out of time. I do apologize. I hope you guys had a good time listening to my goofiness in the Dream Building Garage and all that good stuff. If you can do me a huge favor, as always, like, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. You're going to hear that in a minute. But help a brother out. Share with your grandma. Share with your neighbor. Share with your boss. Share with anybody. I appreciate it. Don't make grandma download the Spotify app. That's just rude. But until next time, guys, get out there. Stay safe. Get some meat on the table. Practice some conservation. And talk to somebody about hunting, or at least conservation. Have a good one, guys. Peace. Check out Hastings Outdoors on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Like, share, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. Thanks for listening.